Hello, welcome to gusmcdoll Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. In this series, we play through each of the battles in the American Grand Campaign in close combat for the Battle of the Bulge. We use historical World War II US Army doctrine to plan and conduct each battle. This is the strategic map. It is 1600 hours on December 16, 1944, and the weather is overcast. US forces have no air support, no artillery, and no supply drops. The previous battle was at Simmerath, between the US 14th Cavalry Group and the German Kampfgruppe Piper from 1st Panzer Division. It resulted in a total American victory and the disbanding of the German Kampfgruppe. The next battle is at Dasburg, between the US 112th Regimental Combat Team of the 28th Division and Kampfgruppe Waldenburg from the 116th Panzer Division. Once again, American infantry against German armour. The road to Clerf has to be blocked to stop the German attack. Hills 459 and 462 must also be held at all cost, because they dominate the bridge. You should make all haste to take the bridge over the Ur River to block the supplies that cross the river. If this area can be taken and held, the German attack will fail for lack of supplies. On the US side is an American infantry battle group from the 112th Infantry Regiment under command of Colonel Nelson. It moves slowly and reserves are now depleted. The company consists of 3 platoons. First platoon is infantry, second platoon is also infantry, and third platoon is an understrength support platoon. The original squads from the first battle retain their names and statistics. Notably, the 2 anti-tank guns destroyed in the last battle at Dasburg have not been replaced. Now, let's review each of the squads. 1-1 is 1st Platoon Headquarters. 2-1 is 2nd Platoon Headquarters. 3-1 is 3rd Platoon Headquarters. 2-2 is a BAR squad. 1-2 is a BAR squad. 2-3 is a rifle squad. 1-3 is a rifle squad. 3-5 is a recon team. 1-5 is a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. 2-5 is a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. 3-4 is a 60mm light mortar. 2-4 is an M9 bazooka team. 1-4 is an M9 bazooka team. Next, let's look at the map and conduct a commander's estimate of the situation. Our mission is to guard against an enemy advance through Dasburg. The River Ur runs north-south through the area and is crossed by a bridge at the village of Dasburg. West of the bridge runs the road to Clerf, past Hill 462 in the north and Hill 459 in the south. To the east is the road to the Reich, with the road to Losheim in the north and the road to Weiler in the south. Although there is some open ground southeast of the village, the area mostly consists of winding roads through wooded hills. The woods limit fields of fire to close range and restrict observation to sight lines along roads. The woods also provide concealment to dug-in infantry. The village buildings provide cover as well as shelter. The woods present a minor obstacle to vehicle movement, but the river is the biggest obstacle and the bridge and roads leading to it are critical to motorized or mechanized movement in this sector. Hence the bridge is key terrain. From the east, the only real avenue of approach is along the road to the Reich through the village to the bridge. The roads provide the other avenues for advance or withdrawal to the north, west or south. The Americans are in contact with Kampfgruppe Waldenburg of the 116th Panzer Division. So, we can expect the Germans to bring at least a troop of panzers along with half-tracks and supporting infantry. In the last battle, the Germans penetrated American lines, capturing the bridge and the road to Clerf, but the Americans counterattacked and retained the village of Dasburg and the woods to the north. The Germans have not immediately moved west to exploit the breakthrough. As such, their continued presence in Dasburg means they are almost certain to secure and expand the bridgehead by eliminating American presence in the area. From the central position, the Germans can strike in one or all of at least three directions. First, north to Hill 462. Second, south to the road to Weiler. And third, to retake the village of Dasburg. Panzers are likely to stick mostly to roads and open areas, with German infantry able to sweep the woods. The Americans can target them in three main killing zones. First, in the village of Dasburg. Second, at the bridge. And third, along the road to Clerf. One option for the Americans is to defend Hill 462 and block the road to Clerf. A recon team in a building in Dasburg would provide early warning of German forces along the road. 3rd Platoon would remain near the two-storey building to the north. 1st and 2nd Platoons would form a company defensive position on Hill 462, with the bazookas in depth of each platoon position. This position would lure German infantry into the woods on Hill 462, dislocating them from their armoured support. The Americans, uphill and dug in, would have the advantage on the German infantry and could fight them to a draw. This plan would turn an unequal fight into an equal one, an improvement but not good odds of victory. And the underlying assumption is that the Panzers would not enter the woods, or would be defeated by bazookas if they did. If this assumption is incorrect, the position will surely fall. Another option for the Americans is to reprise their earlier battle and retain their position in and north of Dasburg. A recon team from support platoon in an observation post along the road to Weiler would provide early warning of German force dispositions. 1st Platoon would hold Dasburg, with a bazooka on the flank and the medium machine gun firing from the church steeple. Cover from the buildings and an outer ring of unoccupied buildings would protect the troops from Panzer fire and force German infantry to assault over open ground. 2nd Platoon would occupy the woods to the northwest, with a bazooka in the position and the medium machine gun firing from the building down the road to the bridge. Both platoons would prevent the other being outflanked. And, by forcing the Germans into further combat around Dasburg, this plan would delay the Germans from advancing west towards Clerf and from there to Bastogne. The key risk with this plan comes from the absence of the 2 anti-tank guns, destroyed in the previous battle, leaving the Americans only 2 bazookas. Eventually, the Americans will need to retreat from this area, but not today. I have made my decision and have placed the platoons and squads in position. And so we begin. Panzers and half-tracks in the open ground. Skinner on the bazooka peers out, looking for a shot. Explosions!
Nailed him!
The recon team knocks out a heavy machine gun half-track that was securing the road to Weiler. The recon team goes to ground. No sense in becoming a target.
Nichts wie raus hier!
Ramirez on the mortar targets German infantry in the open field. Panzers, half-tracks and infantry west of the bridge. They are pushing on the road to Clerf. Gish, on the medium machine gun, orders his gunner to open fire on German infantry near the road. Hill 459 remains in German hands. And Dasburg remains in American hands. German infantry get under cover and the medium machine gun has checked fire. They have drawn the attention of the Panzers.
I can't take anymore! Unteroffizier!
The last crew member is killed. 3 German tanks are static in the open field. They are not moving. Perhaps they are a base of fire, exploiting their firepower if not their maneuver. In the centre, the German armour is milling around the base of Hill 462. The infantry appear to be advancing up its slope. The medium machine gun will fire at targets of opportunity, but only if the Panzers cannot fire back. The intention behind this harassing fire is to force the German infantry to go to ground, which slows their advance and thus their clearance of the objective. And of course, to inflict incidental casualties. The Germans return fire.
Taking fire!
So the mortar drops a few rounds to suppress them. Behind them, a Sonderkraftfahrzeug is pushing up Hill 462 and takes the objective. The medium machine gun moves back from its firing position. No need to advertise. They are drawing considerable return fire, but are luckily in a stone building with thick walls. Thankfully, the German armour to the southeast remains immobile. Skinner has no target. Things remain quiet for 1st and 2nd platoons. But not for long. The Germans have secured the road to Clerf and Hill 462, and appear to be headed to their next objective, clearing Dasburg. Gant's BAR squad moves forward to engage a flamethrower team.
In position.
But takes return fire. Skinner is firing at the Panzer. A Befehlspanzer 5G.
Feldwebel!
your heads down.
Direct hit, but no effect. Skinner goes to ground. Gant's team is almost entirely wiped out. Platoon headquarters takes up the fight.
I can't take anymore!
Captain!
But comes under fire from the Panzers, and McGowan is killed.
Team redeployed.
Dieter!
Burgundy's medium machine gun team has no targets. German infantry appears to have been turned by the resistance at Dasburg and is heading left from the bridge into 2nd Platoon's engagement area.
Conserving ammunition!
Ramirez on the mortar runs out of ammunition. Pearson's squad throws smoke prior to moving to reinforce their right flank. German infantry are now exploiting the gap between 1st and 2nd platoons.
Incoming! He's down! Enemy spotted.
The flamethrower kills Gant. Pearson's men kill the flamethrower squad.
Sergeant! Get the door! Sergeant!
Concern!
3-5 moves to retake the road to Weiler.
He's lost!
2-2 is destroyed. Major German victory. The battle ended because time ran out. Both sides still control some victory locations. The Germans won the battle because they control a greater number of crucial victory locations than the Americans. The Americans took 4 killed and 16 wounded. The Germans took 11 killed, 6 wounded, and 1 half-track destroyed. Let's examine the American squads. From 1st Platoon, Captain McGowan is killed. Sergeant Gant's squad destroyed. Sergeant Pearson's squad almost destroyed. From 2nd Platoon, Sergeant Moylan's squad was destroyed. In better news, Sergeant Maverick is awarded the Combat Infantryman's Badge for knocking out the half-track on the road to Weiler. So far, the campaign remains a major American victory. The Grand Campaign has 16 days remaining. Your defence of the Ardennes is progressing better than your historical counterparts. Over the campaign, cumulative American losses are 65 killed in action, 53 wounded in action, 3 tanks, and 6 guns. Cumulative German losses are 152 killed, 126 wounded, 14 tanks, and 10 armoured vehicles. So, what did we learn? Well, this battle ended because time ran out. Despite the battle scoring as a major German victory, at the end of the battle the Americans still held Dasburg, and 1st and 2nd Platoons still held their original positions. They only lost Hill 462, which they never really occupied or contested anyway. And they retained their bazooka teams, medium machine guns, and mortar intact. However, the Americans lost 3 of their 4 infantry squads. And the 20 American casualties is higher than the 17 German casualties. So it was a major German victory after all. The 112th Regimental Combat Team has fought a good fight against heavy German armour, retaining Dasburg and slowing the German advance across 2 battles. But the tide has turned in this battle, and it is time for the Americans to withdraw under pressure. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.